Welcome to Shopfleet, a new groundbreaking worldwide open market. It isn't just a tech release. It's the start of a new era in business. Welcome to decentralized commerce. This marketplace platform lets you control the terms of selling to empower the sellers to build your own team of influencers and affiliates. If Shopfleet doesn't have it, find it, claim it, and earn on every future transaction. Shopfleet is powered by a vibrant community of social influencers. Decentralized commerce simplifies choosing between retail stores, online platforms, affiliate programs, and direct sales. Removing the middleman, it unifies each area into one universal conversation and compensation globally. Join Shopfleet now to be a part of our inner circle for an exclusive sneak peek at our dynamic technology. For a limited time, lock in your free position in this exciting new company and invite 5 friends to join us. Once you're in, you'll get 5 invitations to share with your most influential friends. It's time to create income in your spare time and start living your dream. Welcome to Shopfleet, the future of decentralized commerce.
For our simple software as a service is to facilitate not only the uniting of humanity worldwide, but to compound a union of our financial success. Our innovative software doesn't just connect businesses. It fosters collaboration, turning competition into partnership in a global business that never sleeps. We acknowledge and honor the fact that to this day, in all of history, you are one of one. There never has been and never will be anyone as beautiful and unique as you.
All right, let's do this. We're up to day 26. Can you believe that? Day 26 of the 30-day challenge. What are we going to do next? I don't know. I actually put up a poll in our couple of Facebook groups there around what to do next, because we're going to continue this stride. We're going to continue to show up and serve you in a daily capacity, whether it's myself or my good friend Dave Miller or Jade Winsley. We'll be still showing up here. And whether it's at 7 a.m. in the morning, I don't know yet. We'll figure those details out. But it's embracing the messy, right? It's embracing the ride. And just been absolute privilege and a blessing to serve you at this capacity. And one thing I've learned about momentum, about consistency, is to show up on a daily basis, even when you don't feel like showing up. Because what does this do? Well, this builds trust through integrity, right? And you become reliable. You know, there are too many leaders in today's world, especially in the network and affiliate marketing industry, getting distracted by bright, shiny object syndrome. And there's nothing wrong with multiple streams of income, but there's got to be some planning. There's got to be some purpose. There's got to be some strategy behind it, right? There's no point just jumping from one ship to one ship because you've tried it for 90 days. It didn't work. So you're looking for the next best thing that's going to help you to get that silver bullet to be able to get traction and run today. Every time you move to something new, you're starting again. Every time that you look like you're jumping from one ship to one ship, you're having to build trust with your community and start fresh. Every time. This is why I'm such a big believer in building a personal brand, building a connection point between you and the audience. And then when you've got that influence and you've got that credibility and you've got that trust between you and your community, then you have that authority, that doctor patient type relationship where when you recommend a product or a service, that people listen to you because of your influence, because of the trust and the connection that you've built with them over time. So today I want to get in and talk about momentum and how to build unstoppable energy, one story, one product, one event at a time, about building your personal brand behind you. But first we dive into that. Hey, I just want to celebrate our awesome participants who have been with us along the ride. And Elise, like you're a rock star, showing up and being here every day and sharing your lessons, documenting more than you promote. I love that you're so coachable and you're following the system and you're serving your people. I love the brand that you're creating around homeschooling mums and how you're serving your community. Well done. Jeanette, you're doing the same thing. You're serving your community. I know we had a brand name come up the other day, which was Empowered Nana. I love it, and the way that you're serving your community by adding value and not just promoting all the time. Brilliant. Well done. You're starting conversations, you're building influence, you're building trust with your audience. And Zach Brown, like, well done, man. And, you're getting behind, the Life FX water this week, I can see, and the way that you've shown up and you've supported that product as an ambassador. And I know that you're starting conversations off the back of those videos and you're getting people curious, right? So well done on showing up every day and being consistent. And this is the name of the game for today's masterclass. The goal of today's masterclass is to help affiliates, yourselves, network marketers, understand the power of consistency and how to stay in the game, how to leverage story collection and keep events and things moving, the momentum rolling. One of the biggest challenges that I've seen in this space, and myself included, when I started the whole Laptop Lifestyle Dads community, we did a monthly boot camp. Every month there was first off, it was the 3-day social selling and AI mastery boot camp. Then that rolled into the 5-day boot camp. I think it was the 3-day challenge we called it. Then we called it the boot camp. And then that kept momentum. There was new people coming in every time. And what it also did is, for the people who are a part of the journey, it gave them a space to invite other people into it. Hey, come check out this guy. Hey, come check out this product. It's helping me do X, Y, Z, and it could possibly help you. See, it gave someone permission to continue to invite people into the story. And we get to learn more. Every time we hear something over and over and over again, we come into it with an open mind and an open heart, it lands better, it lands deeper, because we're the experience and wisdom that we have collected along the way, and we become more mature. It doesn't matter if you read the same book over and over again. It's going to speak to you different because you are different. You have evolved. You've matured. So let's talk about momentum and how to use it and leverage it for you to be able to keep winning at this game long term. Now, the reason bright, shiny object syndrome is around is because the whole make money online industry it's really serving the instant gratification results. And the reality is, I don't care what business model you're in. I don't care what product that you're selling. If you come on board and say, yes, I'm all in, and then jump out 3 months later, are you really all in? Like, if you come and jump in all in, like, I truly believe it's a 12-month commitment at the very least, if not a 5-year commitment. Is to go all in and commit to the person you're becoming, to not the results, not the frustration. Because guess what? Starting anything new is messy. It's chaotic. It's so you got to learn to embrace that and go through your apprenticeship. We've got to stop looking for the silver bullet, the easy solution, the pathway forward. Everybody who's successful online has done the hard yards, has done the messy transformational work. So we've got to dig in. And this is where, having a mentor, having a guide on the journey really, really helps you. Having a community of people who are digging in the same space really, really helps you. And that's what we're creating in the Laptop Lifestyle Dads community. But I want to give you 3 keys here today to help you for consistent momentum. Leverage events, leverage shows, leverage promotions. The network marketing industry is great at promoting things. And and a lot of companies are great at having their incentive trips, their reward bonus trips, whatever it is, right? The promotions. So when you've got a good promotion running, leverage them. And you build from the next to the next to the next. That's one thing I learned from Dream Trips, and this is one thing I'm being reinforced and I'm learning from the Los Angeles Tribune right now, is you've got to have something after. You've got to have that event to event energy transfer. Because if you continue to just, do one thing, get on a 30-day challenge, and then do nothing for the next 90 days, or the next one you get up, you're going to have to start again, right? You're starting that energy, you're starting that momentum, you're starting that excitement, you're going again. And I know it sounds exhausting going from event to event, but actually it's a lot easier because of momentum. You think about when a snowball starts rolling down the hill, it's a little small thing, right? But as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, the momentum builds up. It gets faster and faster and faster, and gravity takes control, and it grows, and away we go. That is the power of momentum. When you're pushing a car, that those first, that oomph, that first to get it going is probably the hardest that you'll ever have to face. Another story or metaphor I used to like to use in this space, is just reflecting now, is think of those old water faucets. You're pumping to get the water out of the well. And you finally get the water out of the well. You fill your bucket up and then you stop pumping. And then when you go to get the next bucket, what do you got to do again? You got to start again. You got to pump and you pump and you pump and you pump and you pump. Right. So, but if you just you can slow momentum down, but I would never stop momentum. And so you want to use events, challenges, whether it's your own challenge or whether it's somebody else's challenge or whatever it is, right? Leverage them as a springboard into the next, wait for it, conversation, post, connection. So it gives us a reason to talk about things. It gets us excited. Have you heard about XYZ? Have you see what we're doing today? The best way to follow up with people with conversations you've had 12, 18 months ago is to use event to event energy transfer. Share that excitement. Keep it going. Keep the train on the tracks. Your job in this space is to turn every event into a reason to share another story. You see what's going on here? I've been talking about this the whole through line. Learn how to become a story collector, because story collection equals your marketing gold. You can't get better assets and marketing in this space when sharing other people's stories and your story. Every DM, every win, every customer message, every product review, every result, every loss, every challenge is a story. So ask yourself, what story can I tell today that shows progress? That is the key. It's not to just share the story about the drama and create like another soap series, Home and Away or Neighbours. Who remembers those back in the 90s? Grew up watching that stuff, right? And you can see it very clearly. It's what they call the drama, the Bermuda Triangle of drama. There's always a rescuer, there's always a persecutor, and there's always a victim. And that it's called the Bermuda Triangle, right? Because you get sucked into it. That drama is attractive. You know what's even more attractive? The hero's journey, the story of progress from struggle to awesome town, and how you can help people get in that space. If you've got a story like that, I reckon it's injustice not to share that story, because you're robbing someone of their hope. Your story is not yours to keep. It is for you to share with the world around you, to help give someone else a pathway out of Struggleville to Awesome Town. Get out of the despair and give them towards hope. I reckon if you're not sharing your story of possibility and hope and how you got to where you are, even as simple as like an earth food product, You know, like my garden out there is thriving. It's 4 weeks in. We've actually got to go harvest it. I have to do a video. Our silver beet's growing. Our spinach is growing. I overplanted it. It's a huge lesson there for next time. But it's blossoming. But I used to suck at gardening. But thanks to Earth Food, I can now say I'm a great gardener, or I'm an amateur and I'm actually doing it, and we're winning this time. See, the story doesn't have to be really complex. The framework is exactly the same framework versus, hey, I used to be an abusive arsehole husband to my wife. I'm not proud of the fact. Pretty disgusted, actually. But you know what? I turned that mess into my message. And I had to learn how to essentially grow some balls and grow up. Stop being a little boy in a man's body and learn how to become a better leader and learn how to be a better husband and a better father for my kids. I had to learn how to transform from the inside out. I had to learn how to take ownership and accountability and responsibility for my actions. And I had to learn how to step up and grow up. And now today, 10 years into that journey, I could say that I've got an amazing relationship with my boys. I've done a lot of hard work in that space. My wife and my marriage, I'd say we're more in love today than what we were when we first got married and we first met each other. We've been through hell and back, which has helped us to create a really strong bond that we know that we can weather any storm that anybody throws at us ever again, as long as we do it together with God in the middle. I found my faith through this journey. I was an atheist 10 years ago. Now I'm a church planner with my wife, Sarah. And we're helping others to learn how to love themselves, how to love God, and how to love our neighbors. That's all we're doing. And by the way, it's an amazing experience. We've started an online church off the back of that. It's called Today's Discipleship Community. And who would have thought, Jeff Ross, dropped out of high school, early, and left home early, don't have a piece of paper to my name. If you looked at my youth and my childhood, it looked like I was actually probably going to end up in, juvenile delinquent center or jail. I got caught up with the wrong crowd. I tried to impress the wrong people. In my 20s, I had a bad gambling problem, and I partied my 20s away. I had a horse jump in my neck in my mid 20s, and I got, rode off by the doctors and basically crushed a few discs in the back of my neck. They put me on a disability pension. And so I've had to go through my identity crisis and get out the other side of that and learn how to be a contributing member of society and helping to step up and become the leader that I am today. And look at what I'm doing now. I'm, partnering. See what I'm doing here? I've just shared you a couple of different stories wrapped up in my own story. Every story, every scenario, every experience is a chapter, is a page, is a sentence to your personal brand. Your personal brand is the story people talk about you when you're not in the room. So what's a story that you could tell today that shows progress? Here are just some types of stories. You just show me go through a few. Before and after wins, product experiences, team breakthroughs, behind the scene moments. These are attractive stories that people need to hear about. And when you do this consistently, show up and you do it every day, that's how you build trust. That's how you build credibility. That's how you build influence. When in doubt, tell a story. Hear that? When in doubt, tell a story and do it at least once a day. Consistency is king. And it's not just about being creative, right? You don't have to be the cleverest person in the room. The simplest, most clearest message in the room will win every day. Momentum dies when you stop. See, it's the law of momentum. It's a physical, universal law of energy. We talk a lot about magnetic energy, right? So keeping that consistency going in even when you don't feel like it. Show up. This is why I love the laptop lifestyle. As long as we've got a phone, a laptop, or an internet, we're good. We can travel the world. We can sit by our son's hospital bed when he's been, going through hell and lost the ability to walk for 2 weeks and then come out the other side of that and have been diagnosed with MS. You know, we can go on trips around the globe and you know, be there present as a father and a mother and be there for our family and work within the in-between times. You know, we've got no excuses anymore. We really, really don't. You just have to show up, be consistent, and show up and serve. Step up and shine. You know, posting at least 2 to 3 times a week. It's fine. It's about the consistency. It's not about the number. It's also about the style and the way you show up. If you're just pitch, promote, you're going to come across as a cold caller. You're going to turn people off. They're going to become blind to what you do. But if you come at the space of building a personal brand, showing up consistently, being a person of service to add value to people's lives, become a person of influence, and your audience will reward you through the law of reciprocity. I can't say the word. Reciprocity. You know, like it's not give for the sake of getting back in return, right? It's not about that transaction, but that's what happens when we give, we receive. And it normally comes back to you sometimes 10x. And it might not come from where you think it might come from. But this is the law of energy transfer in this space. And there is no rhyme or reason to it. The only rhyme or reason to it that I know is to show up and serve without being attached and to be consistent daily. Focused on value-based content, not perfect content. And don't pitch all the time. I find the less I talk and, you know, in the sales consistent, the more I get paid. The more I serve, the more I get paid. The more I show up, the more I get paid. You know, it used to be a friend of mine, Kylie Thompson, used to say, you know, do a Facebook Live a day, makes the paycheck come your way. All right, so we're going to move into, off the back of this 30-day challenge. I put up a poll, right? What do you guys need from me? Look, we can talk about recruitment and team building. We can talk about DM domination, you know, getting in and how do you convert people from conversations. And the other one I put up was a 30-day content challenge to start conversations. So that was the one that's got the most votes so far. There's still some time yet. We've still got 5 days to actually get our numbers in. But we're looking at how we can serve you best, putting our finger on the pulse and asking you the question. So let us know in the comments below. Which one would you prefer? A 30-day DM domination challenge? A 30-day content conversation challenge? Or a 30-day team leader recruitment building challenge? Let me know. I'd love to know. It's Dave saying the content challenge. What Joanne's saying. Let's see what Joanne Cameron has to say. She's late this morning, but thank you very much for showing up. Yeah, Dave, thank you very much. Ashley, thank you very much for tuning into the comments there. It's the momentum. It sure is. It's one of the keys to success for sure. So what would you like to see next from the Laptop Lifestyle Dads? Okay, Joanne said the content challenge. It seems to be in our Facebook group. We've got an overwhelming 80% leaning into the content challenge. But I'm here to serve you. I truly believe that one of the best in the game here, not to be arrogant about it, but you know, the track record speaks for the self. And I love to serve, and I've got a lot of wisdom and experience to share in this space when it comes to attraction marketing and it comes to sales. And it comes to building out systems and strategy for around the customer value journey. When it comes to developing a personal brand and creating content that speaks to your audience's heart. These are some of the things I'm obsessed with. And I could talk to a deaf dog in the corner of a round table with a mouthful of marbles and probably underwater at the same time. So what is that one thing that if you had to get on stage and do a TED talk and you had no time to prepare and you had to do a 2-hour conversation? These are some of the things that I could do. So Terry says done a 30-day Facebook Live challenge a couple of times. Makes a difference. Sure does. Sure does. But here's the thing, right? It makes a massive difference to your confidence, yes, because you get out of your own way and you have to take massive action. But what it does is it creates momentum and the results, right? It's about planting seeds of value. The stuff that we plant today probably won't be seen as results for probably 30, 60, 90 days down the road. But see, if you want to get off the yo-yo ride, the roller coaster ride, the feast or famine ride, the key to it is consistency. Just keep showing up. and serving. All right, guys, that's all I have for today's masterclass. Thank you very much for jumping on. Let's get into massive action, right? There's no point just sitting here and acquired knowledge. The results come from applied knowledge. So go put your post up as a story-based content. Go do a product review. Let's just quickly recap the 4 types of stories to collect and share. Before and after wins, product experiences, team breakthroughs, and behind the scene moments. Hey, if you go and do your post today, make sure you tag me in so I can get behind and celebrate you on behind that and give you recognition. And also, if you're open to it, I can give you some constructive feedback on celebrate what you did well and go back into this space and show you probably one ways of you could do things different or better. If you need to, we could do that in a private conversation. Happy to do it however you need me to show up. On that note, we've actually got our Laptop Lifestyle Dads Academy Masterclass coming up at 10 a.m. Sydney time. So right now it's 7:30 a.m. or just going on 7:30. And so in a couple of hours, our inner circle Laptop Lifestyle Dads Academy students are going to come together on Zoom. And we're up to week 6 of our 8-week curriculum. So we have an 8-week rotation. We're into round 3 of this since we started, and we're up to week 6. And week 6 is the hot seat implementation workshop, where we get to our students. They've gone through over the last few weeks. They've gone through and done the work on identifying their purpose, mission-driven statements and really helping them to nail their niche so they can master their message. And so they're starting to develop their personal brand, and they're leveraging AI as a tool to help support this conversation. We've talked about funnels and lead magnets and how to leverage AI in that space. We've talked about, Dave Miller coming in and showing some really cool tools around AI imagery and content calendars to help us to become content creators in that space, to build our personal brand and leverage AI. So we've talked about quite a few things here, and week 6 is the point where we go, okay, cool, let's look at what you've done, and let's put you in the hot seat. And from not just myself, but 3 expert coaches coming in and providing feedback. We're going to do a bit of a Q&A session as well. Hey, if you'd like to come and be a part of this conversation, this is the next step in our journey. We delivered awesome content like this, but if you want to become plugged into the community and take the handbrake off and enroll into what we have to do it on a daily basis, weekly basis, a monthly basis, then come join our Laptop Lifestyle Dads Academy. You can enroll for just $49 per month. It's less than a cup of coffee a day. I don't know anywhere else where you can get thousands of dollars worth of training in that space to be able to support you. Now, it's not necessarily thousands of dollars worth of knowledge. I really believe that we're coming into a space that you can use the tools out there and know how to use them. Knowledge is worth $0. So what are you paying for? Well, you're paying for wisdom. You're paying for experience. You're paying for community. You're paying for support. You're paying for that space where you can be empowered and equipped and step up and become the leader that you need to become the influencer that you need to become the attraction marketer that you need to be. It is the fastest road to success that I know. You still have to do the work, but instead of having to figure it out for yourself, we've created this masterclass environment, the Laptop Lifestyle Dads Academy, for you to come thrive and do it a lot faster. All right, we'd love to have you a part of that conversation. If you'd like to join us, just let me know. I can send you through the details, and we'd love to see you there on today's masterclass, if not next week's or the week after. Thanks for your time. Look forward to seeing you on the next location, next video, the next show, the next masterclass, wherever that may be. Stay caffeinated, stay legendary, and bye for now.